Alright, so welcome back guys, or welcome if this is your first time here. I'm Vision here at Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today we talk about some comic news regarding The Walking Dead and the new issue coming out tomorrow. So if you're not caught up, definitely spoiler ahead. But if you are caught up with The Walking Dead comics, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you're missing more future Walking Dead content from me moving forward. Now let's begin. So, like I said, if you're not caught up with the recent issue 191 of The Walking Dead, definitely watch with caution. But if you are caught up, we're jumping right in. So, as you know, at the end of the last issue, Rick was shot by the new character Sebastian, who is the son of the governor. Now, there's a big uproar right now in the comics because there are a lot of fans who hate what Kirkman's doing with the Commonwealth story, and there's a lot of people who are mad at Kirkman for doing this to Rick. I'm in the middle. Because while I agree with some people where the comic and the Commonwealth story has kind of been a lackluster story, I will say that I think they did Rick's potential death, because we don't know if he's dying yet, in a good way. Look, you had everything come full circle. You had hit the whole full circle of his "We are the Walking Dead" to "We are not the Walking Dead." You had a good moment between him and Carl, one last conversation. You had some scenes between, I think, him and, who was it, Michonne one last time. They had some really good stuff. Now, I understand why people are mad that it's Sebastian that killed him. Or potentially killed him, because we don't know what happened to him yet. Because, look, I can see where they're coming from since Sebastian's a nobody. It should have been someone higher up. But at the same time, I think realistically it does make sense, because in real life there are nobodies who have assassinated people in history. But I also think it also parallels who these characters are. If you look at the character of Rick, he started off as a character who didn't want to be a leader. He didn't want to be a leader at first, but it was thrust upon him, and he was forced to be the leader of his people. Yet you got Sebastian, who pretty much is just handed everything. He's the spoiled rich kid who's been pretty much handed everything since prior to the time he was born. And he believes it's his family's right to rule. It's his family's right. He should be given that right. So I think the person who killed Rick is kind of is smart, because it parallels the two characters. Here you got Rick, who doesn't want to be a leader, who never wanted to be a leader. While here you got Sebastian, who wants to be a leader, who believes it's his right to be a leader. So I think it's a very good kind of way that Kirkman wrote it, in a way to show how, you know, how like these two characters are similar but yet different at the same time. Now, I know there are other arguments to be made, like we haven't seen much of Sebastian. He's kind of a secondary character. He doesn't have this huge following. Okay, yes, I agree, but we also got to look at it from the fact that we're dealing with 22-page comics. You're not going to have a big amount of time to flesh out this community. It's a community of 5,000 people, so you're not going to flesh out everybody. The fact that we know that there's elites out there is what we need to know at best. We don't need to see them all. We don't need to see every single one of them. We just need to know that some are out there and some support Sebastian, which we do know that from things we've heard in the past. So I agree. I think yes, Sebastian, yeah, so kind of a weird thing to do, but at the same time, I think it's smart. It mirrors who Rick is. It's like these two characters who came up differently, and believe different things, and I think it works out the way that it happened. If you're my honest opinion right now, I kind of hope Rick dies. Because the way it looks, he was shot through the chest, almost through the heart. There's no coming back from that at this point. And I think if Kirkman does bring him back, it's pretty much jumping the shark. Look, I feel like at this point right now, we're at a crossroads at the story where I think Rick dying right now is okay. Look, is it disappointing and something I didn't want to see? Sure. But I'm okay with it. I will go through this. And I think the having Kirkman ended at Compendium 4 was a good idea too. Because think about it. You can look at, for those of you who don't want to continue with the story, the first 4 compendiums is Rick Grimes' story. So you can look at it that way. The first 4 compendiums are the story of Rick Grimes. And I think that's a good way to put it. Starting off with Compendium 5, we'll get the story of Carl and his rise. And that's the way I'm looking at it. I think it was a good way to have it go out there, and it's a good way to finish off this compendium. And as well as I think it mirrors a lot of things. We were introduced to Rick Grimes in issue 1. And then he gets shot in issue 191. So I think it mirrors things very well. You got these back and forth things where in both issue 1 he's shot, but he finds his family and survives. But issue 191, he survived. He gets shot, but he most likely won't see his family again, and he won't survive. I think it mirrors things well. And if you look at these two covers back to back, for issue 1 and then issue 192, the way Carl is standing is very similar to the way Rick is standing. I think they've done some good stuff here. Look, could they have handled it better? Sure, there's always a chance they could have handled things better. But at the same time, I think they did the best they could. I think Kirkman did what he needed to do, and it came out in a good way. I feel like there's a lot of fans out there angry and frustrated with Kirkman with this Commonwealth story. I kind of consider a point. But at the same time, you got to remember, we also went for the same story point back when our group arrived at Alexandria. It was a very lackluster story. There was not a whole lot going on. Our group kind of went for this lackluster time throughout their time at Alexandria at the beginning. And I think this is mirroring that in a very good way. Only Rick dies this time instead of surviving. Even though he wasn't shot then. But you know what I'm talking about. I think they did good. I'm going to say it. I think they did good here. I was kind of holding out hope maybe he would survive. But I think the nail in the coffin is the title here of the 32nd volume, where it says "Rest in Peace." Now, why would they put that there unless it's a big shocker and another big character dies? I don't think so. I think you would name the volume Rick Dies "Rest in Peace." It wouldn't make any sense otherwise. Again, I think Rick will die. I think Rick will 100% die in issue 192, and I think we're gonna kind of stray away from there from issue 193 and 194. We're going to follow Negan and then come back. His story is going to somehow connect back with the Commonwealth. And then I think issue 200 is going to be the farewell to Rick Grimes, the funeral, and everything there. I'm okay with this. I'm honestly okay with this. If you want my honest opinion, you guys, I'm okay with Rick dying. I think with the story, what they've done, with the story they've given him, it's good. He's taken a back seat since we got him into the new beginning with the Whispers. Even then, he took a back seat. It's been Carl who's been taking more of a stand lately. He's been getting more of the story. And I think it works. I honestly do believe it works. It's time to move on. It's time to pass the torch on to Carl. Do I wish that Rick would continue and the story of Rick Grimes to continue? Sure. But I think eventually all things have to come to an end. And I think right now we're at a time where it's okay for a new beginning for this story with Carl. I think we're at a good time right now. I do want to quickly mention though that there are the first few panels I think were released early, a day early. Now I did see them and they do reveal of actually what happens to Rick. However, I'm not going to go into that here. If you want to check them out, you can go check them out wherever they are. I forget where I saw them, but you can definitely check them out. I don't want to spoil them here for anybody who wants to read the issue tomorrow and see for themselves. But they are out there, and they do reveal the fate of Rick Grimes in issue 192. I'm again not going to spoil it for anybody, but if you do happen to see him, please maybe and you want to talk about him, please put like a spoiler warning in the comment section, because I don't want to spoil anybody who doesn't want to know them. So please, if you do read them and you do want to discuss it, please put a spoiler warning in the comment section. I just don't want to spoil anybody who just wants to read the issue and not find out. But overall, I'm excited to see what goes on. Even though I'm sad it's the end of Rick Grimes' story, I'm excited to see what the future holds for The Walking Dead. Even if he doesn't die, I'm still excited. I'm interested to see where they take it. Either way, personally, again, I'll go back to saying I hope he dies, because I just think that him surviving is Kirkman jumping the shark pretty much. Because to an extent, he got shot in the chest. He got shot in the heart. No normal person survives that. And we're talking about in the post-apocalyptic world. He shouldn't survive it, and I kind of hope he doesn't. But I want to hear from you guys. Leave your thoughts and opinions. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you hope happens? And if you did see the opening panels, let's talk about it. But again, spoiler warning. Please put that in your comment so we don't spoil other fans who don't wish to know them. All right, thank you. I appreciate all you guys doing that, because I do not want to spoil this for anybody out there who doesn't want to know early or ahead of time. So yeah, guys, those are my quick thoughts and opinions regarding the fate of Rick Grimes in issue 191 and 192 of the Walking Dead comics. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any more Walking Dead comic content from me moving forward. This has been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.